The Celtics beat Miami.
Yeah, I know.
So you're sad.
I am a little sad about it. Yeah.
Why did Boston win Game 7?
All right, so Boston should have been able to take care of this in 6. Miami looked like they were broken and beaten since we've last talked. But Jimmy Butler had an all-time Game 6 in Boston to carry Miami, right? You all know that. And then Game 7 comes around, and Kyle Lowry's not very good. Tyler Hero tries to play but is awful. Gabe Vincent doesn't do much. Aside from one shot, Max Strus doesn't do much, which is why Boston led wire to wire. However, there are 2 parts of this game I want to discuss, and none of it's to take away from Boston. One is the NBA all of a sudden allowing for, I know that they can retroactively go back and change a 3 to a 2 or a 2 to a 3. The ref can, when the shot's taken, wave his finger like, we're going to review that. That's one thing. But what they did with Miami, with Max Strus, his 3, 5 possessions later, being waved off because they said he stepped out of bounds. And then on replay, it wasn't even clear he stepped out of bounds. Looked like he Sean Ellioted it to me, which if you're watching the Western Conference Finals damn near 30 years ago, Sean Elliott in the corner, I think they were playing the Suns, I'm not certain, got a 3. His heels were over the line, but he kept his heels up in the air and he nailed it. That to me, not only am I not sure it was the right call, but I don't think you can minutes later take 3 points off the board. However, that's not why Miami lost, even though it did come down to a possession. Miami lost because they weren't good enough. But despite not being good enough, Boston's up 13 with 3.5 minutes left and then does every single thing they can do to lose that game. And if they had lost that game, Jimmy takes the 3 after they get another miss to take the lead with 18 seconds left. It would have been, without a doubt, the biggest choke job in NBA history. 13-point lead in a Game 7 against a team that is dying. A team that has one guy you're afraid of, to go to the finals. That would have been an unspeakable loss. However, they were able to get through it. Now, that did make me a little concerned with them for the finals because they have played so well for the last 5 months now, but close games, they have seemed to fall apart a bit at the end. So that concerns me. The Warriors' experience concerns me. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But overall, why did Boston win? Boston won because they had 5 guys who on any given night could make winning plays for you. In Tatum, Brown, Smart, Horford, and Grant Williams, even though he wasn't very good in this series. So call it 4 guys. The Heat had 1.5. They had Jimmy Butler and then Bam Adebayo a couple games. So I picked the Heat in 7. I ended up being wrong. And I'm not going to get into it right here. We did it on the television show. By the time you guys are hearing this on Tuesday, it will have been discussed. I want to make this very clear, though. Anyone arguing that Jimmy Butler should have gone for 2 instead of 3 flatly doesn't understand the math. It is not a discussion. It is not reasonable people can disagree. It is simply basic level math on why the 3 is so much. You know what? I will get into it here. Just real quick. Sorry. Let's just say you believe Jimmy Butler had an 80% chance of making a short jump shot or a layup on Horford. And 80% is way higher than he actually had. Even if he had an 80% chance of tying the game there, the 3 is still the better shot. Here's why. So he has an 80% chance to tie. And again, it's not 80, but call it 80. You then have to stop Boston. And because it's tied, they're holding for the last shot. So you say you have a 50-50 shot. So now your 80% chance of winning is down to 40%. And just by stopping them, you then have to win in overtime, which again would not have been a 50-50 shot because Butler had played all 48 minutes. The Heat were not the better team. They hadn't led the whole time. But give that a 50-50 shot. So 80%, 50%, 50%. Going for 2, your best case scenario, is a 20% chance to win the game. That's your best case scenario. You go for 3 and you make it, Even if Boston goes down and scores, you still have a chance because Boston has to go quick. So it's not even a discussion. Jimmy made the right play. I didn't understand the Strus call, and Boston almost had an epic choke job. I hope that answers your question. All right. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.